Hey folks, all right, so we got a bunch of people here, we got a bunch of people at home, nice weekend, eh? Everybody like that weather?
Beautiful.
I want to know who's got the longest grass. Mine's about 8 inches. Right? Anybody else?
Mine's pretty long.
Haven't even done the first cut yet, so it's amazing. Want to do Chris?
Yeah, sure. Sure. So we have a bunch of people here that did Chris Leader. I think Sebastian at home did Chris Leader. What did you guys think about it today? What were your main key takeaways? I've got a whole list of things, but anything that you guys liked about it? He's all about objection handling, right? It seems to be kind of a common theme throughout.
So down in the States, they're talking about this BRA. They're talking about how buyer's agents have to have BRAs, which we've had up in Canada for a long time. In the States, they've been talking about it well, they got these lawsuits now. They've taken up a lot of oxygen in the real estate world. Well, we've already been there. So we're already doing BRAs. We're already doing things like that. So it doesn't really matter too much for us. But what does happen up here and what they think is going to happen down there is that buyers are going to say, hey, I want to have your commission back. Anybody had that experience yet?
Never. No one ever asks that here.
Last night. Right?
Yeah.
So they're saying like, I'll buy through you, but so-and-so said they're going to give me half the commission back. So what are you going to do? Is that the conversation?
No.
What was your conversation?
He was saying that why should I pay for other agents?
You're probably listing side. You're talking about listing side. Yeah, you don't have to. That's right, but you're not. Okay, that's fine. But I'm talking about on the buyer side, on buyers themselves, the whole presentation, buyers and people come to you say they want to have the commission, don't they? Do they not? Looking at no, you guys are lucky, man. Holy smokes. So the question here that Chris talked about here is practice your scripts at the very end, the very last thing. You can got notes there too, but the last thing there is to practice your scripts. So what does that mean? So if some buyer comes up to you and says, hey, so and so said he's going to give me half his commission back, what are you going to do? What's the script? What we're all saying here is that if you can't negotiate his own commission, what the heck is he going to do? He's going to buy a property, right? That's number one. That's the standard one. What else? He said, Chris said there, let's take a minute here and let me do my buyer presentation for you. And then after I do my buyer's presentation, then we'll talk about commission. Right? Because you haven't done a buyer's. This person that phoned you just over the phone?
Oh, I listed his house.
Oh, he listed his house. Okay. For rent? He doesn't want to pay rental? Okay.
No, I said, no. I listed his house for rent and he changed his mind. He wants to sell it. So he wants to know what his commission is going to be. So, and he doesn't want to pay much.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So again, so it goes back to showing what your value is and what you're going to do, what you're going to do to help them, right? Part of the script would be, hey, look, you want a hard negotiator when you're going for the prices. That's why I'm here. You want somebody that knows what's going on in the marketplace. That's why I'm here. You've got all this experience. Another good answer would be no. Any other questions? Right?
Say no and politely and smile.
Right, because that's going to be an issue. But the whole point of the whole thing, we're not going to do it right now. It's not a training session, but what we're doing right now is so that you need to have the answers to these questions before they give them the objection.
Yeah, otherwise you're just going to say, okay, sure, I'll give you half. Like it's going to be too easy just to sort of fail in that moment, right? If you're not practicing. Right. The other thing he was saying too is sometimes they just asking to test you. They're not actually looking for a discount. They're looking for you to negotiate your worth right there in front of them. So when they ask you about commission, they're looking for you to say no and why. And as soon as you say yes, it's sort of screwed up your entire presentation because you've just showed 2 hours worth of value and then you get to the very end and you just gave it all away. So they're not always looking for commission. They're looking for your ability to negotiate even with themselves.
So you want the market value. You just want to.
The other thing about working with buyers, I think, do buyers not phone you up and say, hey, I saw this place. Can I look at it tomorrow morning? Right? Is that not common?
Yeah.
Is it as if you have no life and no schedule yourself or other clients, right? So that has to be part of your objection. Hey, look, I'm going to be available for you. You're going to phone me someday. You're going to say, you want to see this property in 2 hours. I have to drop everything I'm doing here and make sure that we've got 2 hours there. This is why I'm charging the 2.5%.
I told the guy, listen, every time you call my cell phone, they're up at answer it. Doesn't go to second ring.
Right.
If you go with other agents, you have to wait for them to call you back.
Mm-hmm.
Did he buy it?
Yeah.
Oh, he bought it, but he still wants to negotiate. But he's in mid-listen, what do you want?
Yeah.
Mhm.
The other thing he said too, the more you educate your clients, whether buyers or sellers, the more you can educate, the less objections they're going to have in the first place because you've already laid it all out in front of them, right? So they don't have to think about what else can I ask to fill in these gaps.
And then if you're dealing with a stranger on buyers, you have the buyer's presentation, which maybe all have a copy of that. You should have the buyer's presentation. Right? At least you can give it to them afterwards, what it is. Everybody has those, right? A generic buyer's presentation, generic seller's presentation. You can just in a click of a button, fire it off to somebody. Things that you do.
Yep. Yep. So practice, and be organized and be ready, right? So we got 32 on Zoom, which is good. I think that's kind of what we normally get on Facebook. So thanks for transferring over so quickly. You're going to catch me muting you if you're not muted already. So please just watch out for that. And then if you want to make sure that Claire and I on your full screen, make sure your view is speaker view. And then Claire and I will always be sort of bigger present on the screen. That's for people online. Okay. Cool. Before we get started, rather than saving it to the end, I'll just introduce a new agent, Jihan. Welcome. She came to awards. You might have met her there, but welcome to Monday meeting as well. All right, Claire, should we start with some stats? Someone's asking Claire for help on DigiSign right now. Do you want to try to answer that or you want me to look at it? Oh.
No, I'm doing everything. I want to make sure everybody got notification. That's all. So
yes,
they did.
Yeah, we got 32 people on. They would have. I think some of you would. You want to be introduced, Bella, as a brand new agent? Welcome. Patra is also brand new, not new to real estate though, but Patra works with Pranav as well, the father and son team. So welcome as well. You were also at awards. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, so I missed that one, so I don't know if you were introduced there or not. Okay, perfect. How was awards? How did you guys find the awards event? Nice. Yeah, I know it's happened so late in April. It's kind of weird to celebrate your last year's accomplishments, but we do that to make sure everybody can celebrate with Eid and stuff. So we did it a little bit uniquely on a Monday, which was different. I don't know if we'll do that again or not, but yeah.
What'd you guys think of the paparazzis?
Yeah. So we got the idea from Jersey Shore. I don't know if anyone watches that. They're the new family vacation. They've been around for like 15 years or something. They keep doing new episodes. But there was a season or a show where Mike the Situation was doing like his own book launch. And then he had fake paparazzi at his house to celebrate everybody coming in. And I just thought it was hilarious. Sanik did not think it was hilarious. When I told him we were going to do it for awards, he was very confused, but I think it was executed okay, right? It's just getting your shocked faces once you realize what was happening, right? Yeah, we made some good content from that. We actually have about 150 videos from the whole awards day that I'll share with you guys. I know we made one reel from it, but we actually have like behind the scenes content. So we'll share that folder with you so you can post it on your own socials if you want to, but we'll have to think of something fun for next year because we're always thinking of ways to step it up. So I don't know what we're going to do next year now, but maybe we'll have real paparazzi this time. Thought that was kind of fun. We did make a mistake though on awards. Should we call ourselves out?
No, we don't. Yeah, we made a mistake there. We forgot to recognize Centurion, 5-year Centurion. Would have gotten up there, and I'm sure everybody would have clapped hands. I feel bad about it, but life happens, and as long as you make decisions and things go on, and not everything is perfect. All you do is say, I don't know. Sorry. I don't know. Congratulations. Danik became a true Fulton that day by helping us all set up, and that's just how the Fultons operate. We're also ingrained with all of the agents and making sure everybody's happy. So that morning he became a true Fulton by not walking across that stage, but he should be recognized as well. It was for Danik, and he's a 5-year Centurion Award winner. So it's pretty hard to be that consistent. He's not online, which is great because he hates recognition. So he'll see this recording later. The only one that feels worse than Cardi is me. So there we go. His own wife, I know. Well, welcome to the family. Okay, so somebody tell me about real estate. What's going on out there right now? I've got stats here. Is the market strong, busy? Lots of what? Supply. Yeah, it's true. Okay, so I remember a lot of times, some time ago, buyers complaining there wasn't enough supply, and then now there is supply. Where are the buyers now? Now it's the interest rates. Yeah, prices are still up, so that's not helping our buyers get in. So some agents are actually, it's funny how it goes, eh? Some agents thrive in a buyer's market, some agents thrive in a seller's market, and some agents thrive in both, and some agents don't thrive in any of the above. So it really depends on what you're doing, how hard you work, and what your database is, and your routines. you need to talk to your past clients. We talk about database, but why database? We need to talk to your clients. So I was talking to some agent earlier on last week, saying that they've got clients that bought 2-3 years ago, and now their mortgages are going from 1.9% to 7%, and they can't afford to keep that place, and they're selling them. So if you sold them that place, you shouldn't feel bad. You should be able to phone them up and say, hey, well, how are you making out? How are you doing for renewal? What are you thinking about doing? But there's a source there of listings that you need to take advantage of, and you can't be embarrassed or bad thinking, gee, they paid too much now, but you've got to get them out of the situation today. So there's another reason to talk to your past clients, and it is happening, and we're starting to see it. I would bet that the flush of inventory that we've got coming on right now are people in that same situation.
Yeah.
So talk to your clients, be there, talk to them, make sure that you're out there. So as far as stats go, 2 weeks ago, we had 16,900 listings. As of last night, we have 18,391 active listings.
Yeah.
That's significant, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because each week they've been creeping up like 1,000 or so each week, 500 to 1,000, and now we're like getting close.
On February 19th, so we're in February, March, April. So in 2 months, February, we had 12,500. Today we've got 18,400. So it's gone up quite a bit, right?
Yeah.
So it should be lots of things. Now, the bad part is, I don't understand this part. Now we've got all this inventory, but the sales for the first 28 days, we've got 6,400. 28 days in April, we had 7,200. Sales are down 12%. So we've got all this inventory coming in, and the sales are actually down 12%. If you yourself are down 12%, or you yourself don't feel, hey, you're not as busy as you were last year, welcome to the club, because everybody's in the same boat. So if misery loves company, then you got lots of company, right? So sales are down. Condominiums are actually down 13%, and freeholds are down 11%. So almost about the same. I read an article where somebody says that prices under $1 million are getting multiple offers, that those are the properties that are selling quickly. Does anybody notice that? You notice that, Nelson? Prices $1 million. So I just did a quick little check on the 6,400 that did sell. I asked the computer to tell me prices between 300,000 and $1 million, just to get an idea what's in that price range, what's going on. And 22% of the properties that have sold for condominiums were sold for over asking. Freeholds, 25% of the prices of the freeholds in that price range went for 25% went for over 100% over asking, and add the two together is 24%. So 24% of all listings priced under $1 million are going for over asking. Now, last week I had somebody phone me up and said, "What do you think about the price?" And the price we were throwing around was about 1.45. And the conversation was, should we go 1.275 or go 1.5? And my worry at the time was, and I said to him that, okay. I said, I think in this marketplace, I don't know, I'd rather see the 1.5 rather than the 1.275, because I'm afraid that you might be getting offers that are going to be at 1.275. So they had an offer date come in, and they got 3 offers, and how much were the offers for? 1.275. So we had to cancel the listing, bring it back in at 1.5 just to get the price we want. So it doesn't always work. It works 25% of the time, but 75% of the time it does not work.
But I have been telling agents, it's still, as long as you can prep your client for that chance it may not work, it's still a good shot to get a bunch of showings in the door. So as long as your client is prepped for plan B and you know exactly the timing and they're ready for that, it's still not a bad idea to just get a bunch of showings in the door, and you have people to talk to maybe the second week or later on, right?
But if you're trying to crystallize it into a fact rather than just an emotion or a thought, think of that $1 million mark. If it's under $1 million, consider doing the under asking. If it's like $1.5 million, don't do it. That's my opinion. And if it's between 1.5 million bucks, then you just flip the coin.
Yeah, pick one and go with it.
So does that sound like a good strategy, Nelson?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So if it's over 1.5, you want to price it near the market value. If it's under $1 million, then you want to price it low, generate multiple offers, and in between, then flip a coin. Leases, there's 12,000. There's actually 18,000 properties for sale, but there's only 12,000 active listings or leases. That's usually a switch, right? So that's changed.
Still a lot though.
People are talking about lease sales. Anybody reading the papers, or who's got leases right now that are not leasing out? And they're not leasing. You got a big one though, right? You sound yours that big one, or?
No, it's young and
One better, what are you asking? Okay, and you're getting, is that brand new or is it still sitting there? Really? That's surprising. No parking, right?
Mhm.
At $2,200 for a 1 point, is it a Tridel? Which building? is it? Orchard View. That's an older unit,
It's newer, yeah. Yeah. That whole.
I should ask
pre-builder.
Merle. Merle's the
Yeah.
leasing queen. Okay, you tell me, are leases coming down? Did you find that?
Very selective. in their properties. They'll find properties that stay vacant for 2-3 months and they'll reject 7-8 offers.
Okay, so Merle's saying here that the landlords now, because of all the news in the papers about delinquent payments, they're being very, very, very picky on their selection of tenants. This girl here, I don't understand. This person here, I'm not gonna say who it is, but they wrote this big, long letter to agents that are presenting offers on their lease listings. And what they're saying here is that we understand that many tenants encounter uncertainties that have below average credit score or do not earn decent income. However, this is not the reason why we're rejecting your client. It says in some cases, we're finding that there's more and more fraudulent, I'm just paraphrasing, there are more and more fraudulent applications out there than they've seen ever before. So sometimes when they reject what you're saying here, when she rejects a tenant, it's not necessarily because of their income or because of their credit score. It could also be because of their fraudulent application. And they're not going to tell you, why. They're just saying they're rejecting it. Right? So what they're saying here is that we're going to reject you, but we're not going to tell you why. But these are the reasons why. It's either, employment or you fooled around with the things or else. So you got to use that company called Single Key.
Yeah.
Single Key for $35 or whatever it is. And look at Nelson there, $30.
Yeah.
They'll double check and make sure whether or not that person is a real person or not. Has anybody experienced that yet? You've looked at a tenant application. I'm seeing a lot of people doing this, right? So don't necessarily, believe what's going on. You've got a guy that's working at Tim Hortons. He's got a 750 credit score. That don't add up.
Yeah.
Right. So little things like that. But it's so easy nowadays to counterfeit applications and things. So you got to be careful with that. And
Single Key also does international background checks too. So that might help for your newcomers to Canada trying to rent. Yeah, Single Key can. Yes. That might be more expensive for an international check.
Who knows? Okay, so that's all. I'll just
go back.
I'll just chime in.
We'll go back and forth a little bit. So we'll go into some articles and then some updates. I'm just going to read headlines and paraphrase some things that may help your clients. So, has the Greater Toronto condo boom finally hit a wall? What do we think? Who's our pre-con condo people? Have you guys getting like a million emails like I do? Like I get literally 50 emails an hour for pre-construction. I have to get even more today because they're just trying to sell them.
Oh, to sell them. Okay. Okay.
I'm seeing 5% commission all the way to 8% commission to free rental for 2 years to everything except for reducing the price, right? For condos, yeah. Yeah, sales of new condos, Toronto plunged in the first quarter of 2024 with a rising inventory of unsold units, soaring construction costs, and putting a damper on a once booming market. So it wasn't like less than 4 years ago that the condo pre-con market was crazy and booming. Everybody's trying to get in, lining up, doing worksheets. Now we have 1,461 new condos sold only. So that's a decline of 85% from the peak. It's really crazy. It's going down and down. And so I saw a stat too, there's like thousands of just unsold vacant condos that are now built and ready that are just sitting there. And we'll go over some government programs today too, but they are trying to, we're in a political thing right now. So everyone's telling us nice stories to try to get into the market. But yeah, they're trying to give you ways to get into these condos because no one wants condos. They want townhouses, semis, and everything but a condo high rise in Toronto.
Do people you guys have clients that are trying to sell their pre-construction on assignments? Anybody had any luck doing it? Has anybody had any luck doing that yet?
I don't even know if you could put it on MLS if it would help. Like, I thought that was hurting it.
Put an MLS or social.
You can put it on MLS depending on the builder. It depends on your agreement. But what I'm saying is even if it was on MLS, I don't know if they would sell that either. Like we keep blaming that as a reason. I don't even know if they would.
Sell, because the
I don't
partners
know.
are selling, obviously they're selling the loss.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's scary. One of those. Let me see this one.
So if you got a client that's in that situation, he's worried about not being able to close, you should have a conversation with the builder. Maybe the builder will give them a VTB, make up the difference.
They might.
Like if I'm a builder and I've got 100 units and aren't going to close, I think I want to try to do something. Right?
But they're gonna get BGG,
Did the builder give it to him?
if that's if they have the money.
Well, they're the banks.
No.
Builders are the banks.
What's the profit? I don't know. The profit's not much for a builder. What do you get?
I
Like,
see builders are buying down because there's a European that is young, condo, the trust condo, they're buying down the mortgage to 5.99.
yeah, they could buy down the mortgage. That they do the
Yeah.
same thing. Then they
They're
can,
trying to predict that the mortgage rates by the time
No,
are gonna be cheaper.
They're buying down the cost of money, they feel that at least you go for.
Yeah, but they're predicting that later when it's built, the interest rates are gonna go down. They don't have to give you the buy down because, right? So all they're doing is speculating again.
Buy down, the cost will go
Yeah.
down.
Well, they did introduce a extra 5-year amortization. You can do 30-year amortization on new builds. Is that gonna help?
But recently you can do 30 as well.
No, not uninsured. So now you can do 30 years on newly built homes. I don't think it's gonna help a whole lot, but they're trying to do
something,
things,
something,
right?
right?
Yeah,
Something.
they're trying.
Mhm.
That's only on new, so we got a lot of questions about that, asking if it was for everybody, and it's only for newly built
Yep.
homes.
Mhm.
When you do your negative one, you're keep
No,
going with the
no,
negative
no.
theme?
Keep going. We don't get that involved too much anyways.
No, home prices could reach peak levels by next year, setting new highs in 2026, according to CMHC. I don't know. Saying prices could match peak levels that we saw in 2022, but by 2026. They're saying new homes are being built, but it's still not matching the supply, and so that's gonna keep prices coming up, and that we're seeing that right now in the market, right? That's the whole reason why prices are still up from last year even. Well, we'll see. They're still not building enough. Am I stealing all yours this time? Well, we're on mortgages, so you can go through.
So. No, I'll do it. I want to put these two together.
Go for them.
I'm talking about the budget.
Okay, yeah, I'll say that then. Okay, so Toronto mortgage delinquency rates are surging 71% higher. I was talking to an agent today who's got a bunch of listings coming up, but they're not distressed yet, but they're getting there. So that's what most clients should be doing right now, is talking to you about getting it sold before they get to distress sales, because they are predicting that it's going to surge another 70% by the end of this quarter. We're going to see a lot more power sales. As of today, they're still less than 100, so it's not that much, but they might be coming in the last quarter of this year. So talk to your clients and find out if they are in a stressful situation. And it was a misconception on my part. I thought these were people that bought in the last 2 years with variable, but these are actually people that bought 6 years ago and they came to the renewal this year. So, 5 years ago, they did something and they were okay. And now they're coming up to renewal and that's where they're getting hurt. So talk to your clients and make sure that they're okay, because you can help them out. They can downsize. A lot of people are renting, which I've heard as well, which rental values kind of make sense math wise, right? So you can rent a lot cheaper than what your mortgage is going to be. So talk to your clients and find out if they need your help, because I know a lot of people are doing that right now.
As we speak here, of course, we're trying to give you ammunition that you can put in your social media stuff, little headlines and that. So if you're gonna make notes and things like that, make sure you're, pick something that you can run with there and sort of put it on your social media. We're giving you little tidbits here to get get a conversation going with your clients.
Mhm. You want to go through all the federal budget
Let's go
stuff?
through the federal budget. Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Okay, so you can start. So last week was the federal budget. Did anybody pay attention to the capital gains exemption? Everybody understand how that works and what they did?
I think 250, they're asking 50%.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You can go start with all that.
Yeah, so it's right. So they're saying any capital gain over 250 will now be taxed at 67%. Anything under 250 was the exact same at 50% capital gains. And you did some really cool math if you want to show them as well.
Not the corporate.
Corporations also are going to be taxed a lot higher now too. Yeah, they also got hit. Yeah.
So I just was talking to somebody downstairs just this morning about this, and I wrote down some numbers.
Every year.
No,
per
it's not-
year.
it's only when you sell it.
When you sell or transfer, if the capital gain, when you make that transfer is more than 250, you'll be taxed at 67% of the gain. It's
Okay, so-
for the year you transacted it.
So let me give you, I'll give you the math. I wrote it down, but
Here, I'll look for it.
doesn't matter. It's in my head.
Oh, there.
It's in my head anyways. Okay, so if you, and the reason why I talk about this, you've got to have clients, you're gonna have clients that have cottages. Anybody have clients that have cottages? So these people, it's gonna affect them, right? But I'll just tell you how much it costs. So if you've got let's say you bought a property years ago for $500,000. You sell it for, you sell it for $1 million. No, I want my.
Yeah,
papers.
I know. Your capital gain would then be 500,000, right? So it's half of the,
All right, sorry, okay, here we go. That's right, all right. So you pay $500,000 for a cottage, property, anything, right? Under existing rules, you're gonna be taxed on 50% of that gain. So on the $500,000 gain, you're gonna be taxed on 50%, which is $250,000. Then you're gonna pay your nominal tax rate, whatever your tax rate. Let's assume that you're paying a 20% tax rate. Does that sound good for
so
that?
that's an average of, it's your, based on your income level, right? So
Right.
let's say it's 20%.
So 20% of $250,000 is $50,000. You're gonna pay $50,000 capital gains tax on that sale. And it's only when it sells, by the way. It's not monthly or yearly or anything else. So when the guy sells it, under the current rules, they're gonna pay $50,000 tax. Come June 25th, if the budget passes, and the reason why the budget would not pass is if the NDP doesn't support the Liberal government. Right? So if the NDP supports the Liberal government, then it's gonna pass. If they don't, then it won't. So that's the end. Now, the new rules, so you're paying $50,000 today. So you may have clients today, the reason why I talk about it, you may have clients today that have a cottage. Maybe it's more than $500,000 capital gain. Maybe some poor couple, good, rich couple bought this place. Maybe the grandparents bought the place and paid $75,000 for a cottage. Today's worth $2 million. Right? That guy's gonna be paying a lot of tax, right? So you might want to approach those people and think what's going on. Under the new rules, that same property, $500,000 capital gain, the first $250,000 is going to be, so half of it, so $250,000, half of the 250,000, 125 will be taxable. The other 250,000, 250 that, 2/3 of it's going to be taxable. So that's 166. So the total taxable income is going to be $291,000 rather than 250. Everybody follow me that? And based on 20%, they're going to pay $58,300. So it's going to cost them $8,000 more. Is that a deal breaker?
Yes.
I don't think so. I mean, you read the newspaper. I don't know. You read the papers and then they think it's the end of the world. It's $8,000.
Apply to the corporation as well.
I'm not. Yeah. Well, I'm not finished yet. We're one at a time. One at a time. So it's $8,000. Does that seem like the end of the world?
Not
I
for
don't-
someone that has a
I don't
secondary.
think it does.
property.
So newspapers want to like it's the end of the world. Now, I got a headline here that says billionaires don't like Ottawa's thing, right? And I wouldn't either if I were a billionaire. Because here's what's happening. Let's say that same property, some guy got smart and said, well, I'm going to buy it in my company name, not my personal name. All right. So they buy that same property under the company name rather than the personal name. What happens? There are no capital gains exemptions for corporations anymore. So now the full $500,000 capital gain is taxable at 20%. It's going to cost them $100,000 tax if you own it at the corporation, rather than 58.
There's no.
There's no exemptions
There's
at all,
there's no capital gains exemptions for numbered companies or corporations or trusts.
meaning you pay full capital gains.
The full gain is 100% taxable.
So whatever your income tax rate, you're paying on that.
Property in a corporation, they 100% nowadays.
Capital gain, right?
So there's no capital gain reduction.
Correct. Yeah.
100%.
So I was kind of naive. I was like, Claire, I don't understand the problem. Like if like going back to somebody's cottage that's been passed through generations, I'm like, well, if they don't sell it, they're not paying it. But as soon as you put your kids on title, or you sell it to your kids, or however you do that transfer, those kids are now responsible for the capital gain. So it is going to hurt generational families that have had cottages that are being passed down.
Cottage capital gain.
Yep, it's not a principal residence.
So, no, but I'm saying even though it's a second residence, you never rented it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's not,
Any property, is second property that.
Any property.
Is covered.
all properties are subject to capital gains, except for residential properties are capital gains exempt. Sorry, principal residents are capital gains exempt. Everything has a capital gains, but it's only, your principal residence that has the exemption.
147.12.
Someone buys cottage just to live in there.
That's a principal
Is it their
residence.
principal primary residence?
That's fine. There's no problem with them.
But when you say 20%. It is the 250 capital gains, then you tax your rate, which is 20%.
Well, I don't know. I just guess 20%. If you're,
But let's say the capital gain is 200.
I'm not, don't go down the penny. My point,
Into a 50.
yeah, no. No, the-
40,000.
So the question is, okay, does everybody understand? Okay, the highest marginal tax rate is 52.5%. The lowest is 0. So somewhere between and about 220,000 taxable income, it hits the 52.5.
But what's the change, the 50%, how much is it?
Everything over 225.
Well, if you get a big capital gain, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Yes, you would, if you got a $2 million capital gain, you're still in the tax cut.
Yeah, it depends on, I just do 20%, I'll just give you an example, okay? If I'm a billionaire, I'm paying 50% tax. I'm paying 125,000 tax.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you're gonna, the amount of capital gain, 200,000, you're automatically in the 50% bracket.
No, it's a graduating scale.
It's on tiers, like blocks.
So if
Anything over and above 220, it's a 50. When you have 220, you have 20% certain amount, 30%, 40%, 50%.
So if you put it 200,000.
You're still in the, you're not.
So you may see some more listings, secondary properties,
right.
cottages. They've all got till the end of June to close on these as well. So that could be a good thing if
Yep,
you're
good to
looking
know.
for listings. Yeah, they've got to close. Those funds got to be transferred by June 21st, 25th. So you've got a couple months.
Yeah, what I understood, the corporations still have, they still pay 60% capital gain. They don't have $250,000 first part. That's what I understood. Not,
Yeah.
not that there's no capital.
I'll just read, I'll just read what I have here, right? So I don't know. So it says here, for individuals, the tax portion of capital gains above 250 would be rise from half to 2/3.
Yeah.
And for corporations and trusts, all capital gains regardless of the amount would be taxed at 2/3. So you're right. So I'm a little bit off.
No, it's not a total taxable.
So if they-
It's only 60, you only save $250,000.
The first, yeah.
Correct.
There's still a capital gain of 67%.
Yeah.
Not 100%, that you just said.
That's right.
The bill hasn't passed.
Hasn't passed yet. No.
Has not passed.
So it's not as bad as I thought, but it's only 75,000 instead of 100,000. Anyways, again, you want to look for clients that are in this situation that they might want to sell before June 25th.
Yeah. And I would avoid trying to put fear though. Like I saw a lot of things on Instagram. Everyone went crazy on Instagram. I don't think I would instill fear.
I'm going to confuse everybody today, right now. I'm going to confuse everybody in taxes. By the way, you know what tomorrow is, right? Everybody has to pay their taxes by tomorrow.
How convenient. April 30th.
What if you're getting back?
I'm sorry, but you have to file by June 15th. If you owe money on
You gotta
April
pay
30th, you'll
tomorrow.
pay a penalty till you do pay it. And from day one, it's 5%.
What's June 15th?
You owe the bank.
Independent contractors can have to file their taxes by June 15th.
But to file,
You
yeah.
have to file it, but you have to pay your
Don't
taxes.
pay.
If you owe money,
No, they should pay already, not like, oh.
so if you wait till June rather than April, you're gonna pay a penalty between April and June if you owe money. Okay, so let's go back to taxes, just for the heck of it, just for those people that care.
If somebody has principal residence and he's living there, for example, 3-4 years. And then he has a cottage as well, and he can go there and live another 3 years. Still. And pay those-
So what the government will allow you to do, they'll allow you to declare principal residence, and when you declare it, you have to do what's called a deemed disposition. So if he wants to have a house and then he has a cottage, he wants to change his principal residence to his house, he has to do a valuation and pay the capital tax on the day that he changed the cottage to principal residence. And then from that point forward, it's per principal, but up to that point in time, he's gonna have to pay taxes on it. So you just can't change the name and do it. Just like Corey said, I'll put my kid's name on a property. That way I don't have to do the capital gains. Sorry. As soon as you put the kid's name on there, you have to do what's called a deed disposition and pay the taxes when the kid goes on the code.
That's gonna impact a lot more people, I think.
So it's a little, and I'm just giving you stuff to think about. I don't know if that's true or not what I just said, but the question you have to ask to
Someone has, doesn't have that much income, getting the money from the, like in the property.
correct. That's right. And this is why the cottagers are complaining, saying that my kids can't afford to keep the heritage, the family cottage.
But then those billionaires have life insurance plans anyway that will pay that.
It's gonna force it to
So
sell.
you get life insurance plans, and that's what it's for. You get life insurance, you pay all that debt off and. you keep
No,
everything.
you're right. Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah, so you enjoy it for now and then, yeah.
For anybody who wants to get smart with taxes, right? Everybody wants to get smart with taxes and you want to create trust companies and you want to create holding companies and you want to create deferred taxes and so on and so forth. You can go through all these exercises and have all the accountants give you all the information you want. And then what happens? After you've done all that, just a sidebar, the government has what's called an AMT. That's called an alternative minimum tax. So they calculate the tax based on what your accountants and all your trusted people told you what to do, all your lawyers, you spent all this money and created this tax haven, you get there and then that you say, hey, I only pay $10,000 tax. The government does alternative minimum tax, they do another calculation, that comes up to $250,000 you owe. Guess which one you're gonna pay? $250. So you can do all your tax plan you want, but at the end of the day, there's called an alternative minimum tax, which is
You're gonna pay taxes at some
gonna pay
point.
taxes.
Some way or.
So they got to figure it out.
Yeah. So more budget proposals. Again, this is just part of the budget proposed, and they're calling it fairness for every generation. So capital gains was one of them. They're also increasing the home buyers plan, so the HBP plan, from 35 to 60,000 for an individual or 120,000 for a couple. So that's to allow first-time home buyers to withdraw more from your retirement savings plan, and they're giving also more leeway to pay it back. So they're also extending the grace period, which is now 5 years. They're going to extend it a little bit to allow you to pay that back faster. We talked about this one, extended mortgage amortization period. So they've introduced a provision for a 30-year amortization that would start in August 1st. Permanent amortization relief. So they've enhanced Canadian mortgage charter, which will allow permanent amortization relief for existing homeowners that meet specific criteria, allowing them to reduce their monthly payments as needed. I don't know the details on that, but it's just part of the budget proposal. The housing accelerator fund enhancement, an additional 400 million will be added to this, raising its total to 4.4 billion, aiming to fast track construction of another 12,000 homes. Seems a little lacking. Canadian Housing Infrastructure Fund, another $6 billion fund to also support construction, some support for renters. So new measures for renters, including launching tenant protection fund, which will allow tenants to get credit from their monthly rent payments. So they do that in the US already. That would be kind of helpful for people that are trying to build up their credit to allow that rent to go right into it. Making your home cheaper for heat and easier on the environment. So they're helping you lower your monthly home heating costs with this program. They've got a program to combat mortgage fraud, investing in new, so there's a whole bunch of things that these guys are proposing, right? It's all part of their political agendas as well. I don't know where I want to go now. Yeah, we'll see. There is a lot of mortgage fraud in Canada.
They wanna like cross reference CRA.
Yep.
You think that'll actually happen?
I think so. Yeah.
Been reading about it, people are saying it's gonna be a law.
Yeah. More on the process and the systems to actually make it happen. Yeah. Well, they should have some sort of check. Yeah, sure. Do you have more government policy stuff before I get into like some rules? The only other one I had is I didn't have this. So real estate regulators across Canada, how the industry works by province or territory. I haven't read this in advance and
just give the numbers. So I'm curious how big we are. So Toronto's a pretty big city, right? And then you hear about Calgary and you hear about Vancouver and so on and so forth. So I thought this article kind of cute. It sort of tells us how many members belong to real,
boards,
right? Or how many people belong to the
the
provincial
local
one?
board. They should
So-
put it
so
against population. That would be kind of cool. But yeah, BC's 26,000.
That's
That's
there's
our
20
second biggest
There's
province.
26 realtors in all of BC. 26,000. 26,000 in all of BC.
All BC, not just Toronto, BC. I don't know. That's what I think.
BC
it'd be cute.
population, BC's gotta be 3 million anyways.
Yeah, we have, that's a BC population.
Probably BC. I'm talking all BC, not Vancouver.
Yeah,
So
all
what is
BC,
the
British
population
Columbia.
of Ontario?
It's 5 million.
So
No,
80,
Ontario.
BC's
Sure.
5 million.
5 million. 5 million in BC. So 26,000 to 5 million population.
So 20, so we have, no, that's 26,500,000, we have 5 million population of GTA. And
There's 14.
80,000 almost. So Alberta, just under 13,000 in all of Alberta.
Realtors.
Realtor.
Yep, these are realtors, yes.
4 million.
Saskatchewan. Anyone want to guess Saskatchewan?
BC don't make money in BC.
Don't know.
Six, 1650, almost 1,700 realtors in Saskatchewan. Pretty good guess. So that's a lot. All of Manitoba, 2,400. I'm gonna save Ontario,
There's single offices here bigger than that.
like literally. Like us, we're our own brokerage is like half the size of Saskatchewan. Quebec, 17,000. Nova Scotia, 19,000.
1900.
1,800, sorry. Yukon territories. We could all go there and get.
I
the
like
market share.
Yukon. We should all move to Yukon
I think we
territory.
should all
Come
go
on.
there and start up a brokerage. 40.
Oh my God.
There's
Or
40
less.
40
So-
realtors in all of Yukon.
And they can buy a house for $6,000.
So your quality of life though, you're buying a bag of chips for like 40 bucks.
45.
So Ontario, like all of Ontario, not just Trev, it's 105,000.
So mostly.
105,000 licensed realtors in Ontario.
In GTA, in GTA.
It's all Ontario.
No, no, all of Ontario minus all of this is what-
Yeah. So we're quite competitive market in here in Toronto. It's one of the biggest boards, the Toronto Real Estate Board in the world.
You know, 50% of the people don't even sell one property.
Yeah. I'll continue with mortgages for a little bit and then we'll move on, but this is not a new thing. I guess the government is trying to talk about halal mortgages. You guys are used to this already. It's nothing new, right? So they're trying to promote that, but there are no government programs that support halal mortgages. It's all private companies, right? So I think the government is just reminding you that they're thinking about this and they're trying to make some solutions, but there are solutions out there already. And so halal mortgages means they're not adding interest rates. And so does it get built out later in time? I'm looking at Shafiq. Yeah, so they accumulate later. They don't call it interest, but there is some sort of payment to the company for lending. It's just not in our traditional world. So they're talking about it. They don't have a solution yet, but they are talking about it. Any more government?
I just want to go back to the BC for a second. We said how many agents in BC we said?
26,000.
Okay. They sold in BC 78,000 units in 2023. How many do we sell? 65,000. So to go back to Boole's case here, we've got more people that do nothing than in BC. Curious, huh? Yes.
Like if we're all moving to different provinces now to be less competitive. The Toronto condo sat on the market for months. Then the seller tried open bidding and it sold in just over a week.
Has anybody tried that yet? Has anybody considered doing that? Or is everybody too scared to do that? Or what do you think?
Open bidding.
Nobody's tried, we haven't come across it yet, but I'm just curious, has anybody even thought about doing it?
So it was a 2-bedroom condo in Etobicoke, about 900 square feet. It's a penthouse. So it would have been something nice in Etobicoke. They had it listed for a while. Then they moved to open bidding process and it sold in a week, but it sold for a few thousand under asking.
And it was for sale for a long time, not selling.
Yeah. So since December, they tried,
So would that be open bidding, like a,
Did it school?
auction?
they use like a platform called Open. So I don't know what they would have started the bid at. It's like an auction. Yeah, like an open auction. I don't know what their starting bid would have been though. Sold only for a few thousand under what they had it listed for before.
The offer have to be firm, right?
Doesn't have to be. Basically, okay, so they're confusing, okay, the newspaper's confusing.
Yeah,
Basically,
they are.
basically, all the, rather than being an open bidding, what they're doing, they're disclosing the contents of other offers.
Yeah.
So they might have said, we're doing this through auction or whatever they put on listing. And then the offers came in and they saw them all and then they signed them back and two people were close and one person finally paid more than the other.
It was conditional too.
But what they found was that each party, when they're competing, they went in with their second offer and it was $2,000 more. They're going up in $2,000 increments, both of them,
Just like the option.
just like an auction.
It'd be the
And-
same as
and
you
it's-
doing it this and just disclosing the offer contents. It's just not with the app of showing you where the
Why
bids
they
are.
didn't underprice it? See that accuracy?
It was on the market for 2 months, right? And then the seller got mad. They said, okay, let's do something different. They obviously didn't want to reduce the price. So they tried this and they said it sold, but it still didn't sell over asking.
Yeah, and they really had to sell it, so they were motivated, but it's interesting.
The whole point is it's just, it's another tool for you guys to have,
Yeah.
right? So-
Mhm. That's cool. Yeah, they still got their 3,000 less than their asking price, but they did it in a week, so they saved.
Now,
some
this
money.
article, I believe, was written by the company called Open Bidding. So Open
Okay.
Bidding is the one that supplies the software. So I think they're the ones that probably wrote the article. But we don't have to use Open Bidding. We can use Dr. Google and an Excel sheet.
Yeah, you could use offers, SkySlope offers as well,
You
right?
use SkySlope
Email.
offers, same thing. So if you're gonna do it, you gotta look at it, right? But don't get complicated. Like some people think you have to learn a whole new program to be able to do multiple offer. No, just do an Excel sheet, same thing.
Does anyone,
You can share the Excel if you want and it's done, right? So.
I haven't tried disclosing offer content yet. I'm
Oh, the
still
Vinted?
not supporting it, but has anyone else been on the other side or tried to
Really, eh?
disclose their contents of
Better
the
than
offer? How did it
Vinted?
work out? I only know one person.
Yeah. Honestly, I will say the same thing. Like,
If you
I
said
never
you're gonna do this in
understood.
2 months, what are you gonna do? It's gonna expire. Let's try something.
Yeah.
Right? So
My
it
only
depends on
thing
the
is I
situation.
feel like the software and like the, yeah.
This one here, sold under asking.
And then I would say charging station wise, like,
No different than us, what we would have done here.
Don't
as
get
well,
really
but they just
confused
do
with
something
that.
different.
I don't know.
Any more market stat? My rest is now reminders. Oh, did you
No,
print
yeah.
her? Got her email.
I think they're gonna call it a premium on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
ORWP.
I never
guys
really
all
had
like
to, so I upgraded my
Amazing
charging.
benefits. You've had it now since January. I maxed mine out already, to be honest. So yeah, when you know the system, I'm massage and acupuncture. I literally maxed it out already.
I estimate about 470
So
kilometers.
take advantage of
The
it. I
charge
don't know.
costs me about
You get $750 waiting for you on the other
$7.
side of your claims.
If you're calculating it based
Yeah,
on
exactly.
like,
Yeah. So,
was it like
well, you max it
0.9
to
cents per
750. So
kilowatt?
as soon as they've reimbursed you in the amount of
I do
750,
a
then
lot
you're
of driving,
maxed out.
like right
Right,
off the
70% of
bat,
each
you
sort
pay
of
like
service, but
6,000.
the max that they'll give you 750 for your paramedical. They did say they have 68,000 claims,
So like
61
most
travel
people
claims. So you
aren't
do have
doing like
travel
400
insurance.
kilometers daily.
32
even if
families have
charge
used
it,
the
it's
life
gonna be
insurance,
like-
which it's sad, but they were able to take advantage of life insurance. This is the
I
big
do
one. It's
travel a lot. I would
355
be like
general
if it is
practitioner
like
consultations. That's your
Graves'
massage, your
anxiety.
paramedical.
And honestly, it's only been one time in 4 years when I've
Yeah.
ever like
Cost is only
been
650
scared.
of the insurance.
Yeah, so you $150
Yeah.
net.
Other than that, it's
$100.
winter
might as well
time
use
is
it, you
bad
think,
though.
right?
Winter time, like
It'll take long for them
I
to
actually
click in.
can't drive to Mississauga and back
Loser.
without charging. Especially on like the polar vortex days, it's not the problem. Like your
That's
heat,
right.
everything.
Exactly. So that's what I'm telling you guys to use them. And
Yeah.
you're all paying
It's usually
for it.
just on
So
those
take
extreme
advantage of
cold
it. Go get
On
massages.
regular days, it's still
810
losing, but
people
God,
did mental health
polar
consultations.
vortex.
You got the
like,
Headspace
every, like,
app for
10 seconds,
meditation.
I'm
That's
losing
$15 a month normally.
$15 a month
Yeah.
for what?
For the Headspace meditation app. Now you get it for free. I don't know.
Here's a $1.25
Yeah.
of my medication.
Is there like a minimum or something or?
My doctor wrote me a prescription.
Yeah, so not all medications are included. So.
Medicine is $750.
Yeah, for prescriptions. Yeah, so that's a different category. So you have that on top of your other 750.
No, but that's $750.
Yeah,
Well,
but there's
the
still a bunch
problem
of
is how
people
many
that are
kilometers-
suing them. So there's still a whole GoFundMe thing, and there's still people trying to go after them for
I know.
hundreds of thousands of
I don't know
dollars.
if it works, but I don't know.
I think they're wasting more time.
I
trying to-
I've
trying to get it.
thoroughly
They're
enjoyed the
wasting
car.
time
I'm happy
with
with it.
lawyers' money and stuff. Like it's here. It's already here. It's here now. Everyone's paying for it because of the other hundreds of thousands of agents that
400,000 agents, the problems.
are not utilizing it.
Why didn't I give you
People don't even know.
So here's how they're gonna afford it. I mean, they're gonna increase the rates. No, because we had a dental plan. Trev had a dental plan years ago. And what they made a mistake and everybody signed up for it, was great. And then everybody got their work done, that was great. And then they canceled it.
Next year, they
They canceled it next year. And under that plan, they could come and go as they please. Under this plan, you can't get out.
I don't remember.
So
This one, you can still cancel the next, they can stop and cancel next.
I don't know what kind of contract they signed, so.
I'm sure it's not a 1-year contract.
To me, this is
How
a
much kickback they have you?
win-win situation for the agent, because you can claim $750 for the medicines, $750 for the massage, and other things, I don't know where it is.
Psychological therapies.
So just to make a comment, people get mad at me when I say this, but the people that complained the most were the people that were older because they didn't get benefits. So after year 70 or 80, right? But they're the ones that use all the medical, all the stuff here. So they're the ones that are going to take it. They're the ones that are going to use all the benefits, and the young kids aren't going to use anything.
So the price, that's fine.
Yeah, unless you're me and you max them all out in the first quarter. Just a reminder, Realtor Quest is happening this month, May 15th and 16th. It's 2 days. I think there were speakers like, so I see Martha Stewart is going to be speaking, and Jay Shetty is a good one. So Jay Shetty will be speaking. I'm most excited about him. The rest I don't know, but it's good for networking. I think it's good to go out there and see who's there. It's great if you love swag and you want some free pens and stuff and some lunch. Why not? I know some agents that go for the swag. Whatever your reason is, that's okay. On that same day, though, if anyone is curious about TREB's spring annual meeting and you want to be part of what they're planning for next year, any decision making, you can go vote. That's happening on the 15th in the morning. So the same day as Realtor Quest. I think they do it on purpose because it's in the same building. So locationally, it's convenient for them.
It's gonna be at the airport, right? Toronto Congress Center?
Yeah, Toronto Congress Center, 650 Dixon Road. We'll be there as well. Open houses. So you might see every Thursday I send out like an auto sent email to remind you to put it on Manage My Profile, because every Saturday morning I get a panicked request from an agent who has an open house, whose clients have seen it on realtor.ca, and the little open house thing is not there. They've changed the tool. I have to check it myself, and I need someone to test it out for me as well on your agent side. You still have to go to Manage My Profile. So you would still click on open houses from Manage My Profile, but now it takes you right into Realm, Add Edit. And there's a little button at the bottom of Add Edit in Realm where you can add open houses. I have to see if you guys have access to that, or if we have to turn something on for you, because right now not everybody has access to their own listing. So I'll get somebody to test that out for me. But maybe you still have to go to Manage My Profile, because it said it's here now, and that was as of April 16th. So I assume that meant like it's active, but I haven't tested it. So
Maybe I just didn't find it. I was
Okay.
like browsing around, I was gonna message you, be like,
Yeah.
I can't access
okay,
it.
so I'll try it myself. It's supposed to make it easier for you, because you're already in Realm theoretically, so you don't have to go to Manage My Profile and go backwards. It's just one site, but I haven't played with it. I felt it might also mean that our girls can add open houses for you. So that would be a benefit. So when you're doing your listing, I think we can add it for you right then and there. So that's an added benefit for sure. Not all brokerages have that service, but we'll be able to help you add your open houses. I don't want to talk about this too much, but I think it's kind of funny. This is a vacant tax declaration and how mad everybody is that they got their tax bill and they didn't claim their vacant home tax. So there is a procedure. You can let your clients know if they're in that situation, and you can go to an online portal and make a complaint. They're advising you not to pay the additional tax, but the quirky thing is that you still have to pay $21 in late fees. So if you times 125,000 people times $21, that's a nice over $2 million sort of income that they're still getting from this mistake. So it's kind of so for people that didn't do their vacant home declaration, some people got hit with the tax bill. So they're saying, don't pay it. You have to go to an online portal to dispute it, but you still have to pay the $20 late fee. So people are still hit with that. So again, it's just for your clients to know, make sure if they did get hit with that, you can advise them. And then for next year, remind them. It's a thing that's every year. So I put it in your calendar every January, remind all your clients that they have to declare it. It's an annual thing.
Your profile doesn't open and,
You have to go to Add Edit. So you go, there's an Add Edit section, and then it's a little button on the bottom, not in the listing itself.
the management profile, right?
Yeah, you can as a first step, and then at the very far
add
right.
Oh, yeah.
Edit.
You don't have to. So there is a link from Manage My Profile that will link you back to Add Edit, but you might as well just go directly there.
Go away, go straight to add edit or go to my profile. Edit.
Chrome, on the telephone doesn't open that.
Oh, yeah, it might not be mobile friendly.
Don't do it on telephone.
Yeah, I wouldn't. This is kind of relevant today when people's budgets are getting less. As somebody asked a stager, what can I do if my sellers can't afford staging? Because you do try to get your sellers to pay for staging if you can. So these are quick things to
Does
do.
anybody here do staging themselves? Anybody here like you stage the house yourself? Okay, good. All right. Anybody else? So a lot of people have a garage or a basement full of extra furniture, or some people have clients that are moving and they don't want furniture, and the agent will pick it up instead and use that furniture for their own staging.
Somebody's crap on the stage.
No, crap. I mean, it's not gonna be crap, but it's what are we gonna do, right? So that's what's going on there.
If it is vintage instead of crap, you could sell it too, right? That's your little side hustle.
But this girl here, she's talking about do-it-yourself staging. She's got some good points here, which I never even considered. Not that I'm
We'd like to see
like
Claire stage at home.
the first session, the first one.
Yeah,
was
so
good.
harness the power of scent. So using natural scents like vanilla, citrus to create a welcoming atmosphere. Cinnamon candles, I'd be kind of scared about putting candles in, but maybe like non-fire type things. Natural air fresheners like dried fruit, cinnamon sticks, freshly baked cookies. We've heard that one before at an open house. You bake some cookies before. But just not too strong, so avoiding like artificial scents, but nice natural scents. Creating a focal point, so highlighting a standout feature in each room, such as a fireplace or large window or architectural detail. Arranging the furniture to draw attention to that focal point and guiding buyers' eyes towards the home's most attractive features. Be mindful to never block the natural flow of traffic from room to room, and look for opportunities that draw the eyes up. So lighting, drapery, artwork, which all make the room feel spacious and impressive. Showcase versatility. So stage rooms with flexible layouts. I think, this would be like a den that you might make an office instead, because people are working from home now. Making bedrooms into gyms or a meditation room. So being a little bit flexible with rooms like that, even using like a day bed instead of a full couch to show that you could use it for sleeping or something else. Using art strategically. So selecting artwork that complements the style of the home and adds visual interest to the walls. Incorporating texture. So adding depth and dimension to rooms by incorporating a variety of textures, soft throws, plush rugs, cushions, things like that. Staging outdoor spaces, especially in your spring, summer listings. Don't forget about the outdoor space when staging. So making sure there's comfortable seating, outdoor rugs, potted plants, staging dining areas, stuff like that. Highlighting architectural details, so drawing to details such as ground molding, built-in shelving, exposed beams. Emphasizing storage space, so making sure you're showing ample storage space. You can even stage that space. I've even seen like closets, even you take out a bunch of clothes, but you keep some things in there to make it look colorful and nice. Adding greenery, making a cozy atmosphere. So even on a limited budget, you can sort of do some simple things yourself. I know a lot of agents that do home scents and buy some classic things. My husband is one of them. My entire basement is full of artificial plants and random things from home scents, because some people do their own staging. So it makes sense. Everyone's dreading this one. We're gonna end the meeting off with this. We have a big change coming in 3 months. You all know what it is. It's happening. They're not gonna delay it again. You are getting Realm in 3 months. But it is time to switch the habits. I'm still in a bad habit. I always go to Stratus. I barely just got rid of the habit of clarity. Like my finger was still going to that spot on my phone to get clarity. But yeah, they're switching. So there are some training that Treb is doing as well. We'll probably do some as well. It's sort of a hard thing to teach in a big group. You may want to do some one-on-one sessions with us, but Realm will be doing some webinars. I got the question today if they're going to be doing something in person or if it's only webinar. I think it might be, yeah, it still doesn't say if it's virtual or not. Oh yeah, in person, good. So there will be in-person training. So that may help you. If you're more hands-on and you want to have more tactile training and bring a laptop with you, that's not a bad thing. They're going to do different sessions on getting started, working with Realm residential, commercial, doing a CMA. It's a bring your own device, so you can bring your phone if you want to learn more about Realm mobile. So there's in-person and there's some webinars as well. But start building those habits now, because you don't want to be stuck July trying to use a whole new system. I would start it right now.
One thing they're talking about is to download your saved searches. Has anybody done that? Or sorry, does anybody need to do that? Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
Not yet.
Hey, on your Stratus, don't you guys have saved searches, right? No?
So you can bring over contacts and save searches. It's a 2 separate process, but you can do that now. When they first launched it, you couldn't. It caused a lot of stress, but now you can. It's also a good opportunity for you to start fresh though. If you've had it for a long time, you've had like hundreds of contacts and stuff in there, it's not a bad idea just to start fresh so you know exactly who to focus on. But you can transfer them over if you want to as well.
It's very difficult realm. I find like all my contacts that I had in there, none of them signed back. You know what I mean? Like, to go in and do all that, and I get it, it's for, you know, consumer.
Well, they can still get listings. You can still manually push things through them, but yeah, they won't get like the auto
Yeah.
searches.
So
So
hard.
So let's, okay, so just let me adjust that just for a second there. On Realm, for instance, if you want to send your client and you think your client doesn't want to set up an account, they don't want to do collaborate, they don't want to set up an account, you just want to send them information, you can do that without them signing up.
Yeah, I know, and then, but like every day having that for every prospect, that's insane.
No, it'll do it automatically. It'll send it every day. I put yourself on a prospect search on your street and it'll send you, every time that something comes up, it'll send you an email. You don't have to do anything after you set it up.
but to be fair, when you click on it, you have to log in to see the details.
Oh, you do? You can't just look at it as an
I don't-
individual?
I don't think so.
What's my password?
Yeah, I think if you click on client, we
Hey,
should test it.
I'm gonna let you walk my shoes here. Let's do some training. Great. Let's sit down. All set, ready to go. Okay, log in. Oh, I forgot my password. Oh, here's
Yeah, so it's some education for those people as well. You may just want to push them stuff and maybe even like print PDF stuff to someone like that so she can see all the details.
The only
Yeah.
problem I have with Realm, and it doesn't really matter because we can't change it, is there's just so much information we can't get on one page. You gotta, it's just to be able to read it properly, like even you gotta create columns, for instance. If you want to do a column and you want to find, there's not enough information. There's not listing brokers, not expiry dates or anything. So there are things you have to learn.
Okay, I've got our full training schedule for the rest of May, so you can mark your calendars. This Wednesday, we're going to be doing PREC planning. So these are people that want to learn more about PREC, or you have a PREC and you want to know how to leverage it more. We have a guest speaker. I believe it's just virtual, not in person. So we'll send out a link for that on Wednesday, May 1st, 11:30. The next week, we're going to do another calling workshop part 2. So we're going to be calling online leads again. So if you missed the first one, I know we were just celebrating Eid that week. So this is your chance to come back again. Or if you just want more leads, we're going to be doing all calling together that day, May 8th. Then we got Realtor Quest the week after. Then the 22nd, we have a social media video workshop with Cedar Media. So Zal's going to come in and do some social media tips and tricks for you guys. I believe it's like a pretty hands-on session. So come and bring your phones. And then on the 29th, this is a TBD, it's not for sure. We're gonna scope out your interest. Katelyn's planning to do an open house or a farming session. So those are for people that wanna do more open houses or get into more geographical farming. We're gonna do a session on that. So we got a jam-packed month of May for training. As always, and will be virtual and in person. Any listings that anyone wants to talk about? We went over an hour. We haven't had a meeting in a while. Had a lot of stuff. Any listings you wanna talk about before we go? Online, any listings? I can tell the ADHD kicked in because we just dropped like 10 people. So.
Liberty, 135 East Liberty, it's the 1+10, 1 bath, parking locker. We're gonna try the 499 and hold offers for a week and see what happens.
Yeah, I would do that too. Why
Pretty
not?
motivated, so I mean, just bring your best offer.
Okay.
I'm thinking it'll be maybe in the 650 range.
With parking locker or okay. East Liberty, it's a condo 499. What's your target price?
Around 650.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's good to try. Yeah, Shafiq.
Apart of 72 condos outstanding. But that's not. One owner. One share. And then Saga one, the 54, budget circle is a really nice house. A lot of touring and last weekend. That is last weekend. On Saturday, 55 people, Sunday, 55 people. Yesterday, this Saturday, around 15, 20, yesterday about 25. But yeah, I haven't like, 3, 4, 5 patches, 6 patches.
You're saying you had 25 people show up for, you're talking about open houses?
Yesterday.
Where was it again? Sorry.
40
See, you caught my attention when you got 25 showings, so now.
25 people through.
From the agents.
Yeah.
But most people who come.
Sure, the open house. So where was it again? Sorry.
4488 Gulf Coast, a circle by Parkway.
Mississauga? Mississauga.
Eglinton, very nice location, fully renovated from the basement, all the floors, the basement was not finished. The original owner is at the time, there were 26 offers for nightlife property. I wasn't here. And she spent a lot of money. The reason why I say that is I don't think she will make money. She probably will E1 or use a little. So the really good at the I'm trying to get that something. So this coming May 2nd. May 2nd is the offer date. 4 people or 4 agents talked to me. They were about to register their offer. I didn't allow them to do so. And they put no condition, but the price was a bit lower. They wanted to tie my hands with a socket fork and I said, "No." I created my price. The price was really attractive. But we're waiting for them to the one that my client wants. So that's what the price is for the
What's it listed at?
This is at 1.299. The comparable was sold for 1.295, just 3 days ago. But that one is more bigger than my house, but no updates. This house, has like $150,000 value updates.
Yeah. Yeah, don't take bully offers too early. I had an agent call me on Friday. They listed the property that morning for just over $1 million. Their target price was 1.3. Says, I've got a guy, they're gonna give me a bully offer. What do I need to do? I told them the process, but I said, by the way, your bully offer is gonna be 1.25. And he said, well, how do you know that? I said, just because I know it's day 0 and they're trying to undercut you. The offer came in literally at 1.25. Because I don't know how you knew that, but thanks for taking me off a ledge because he was getting ready to update MLS and tell everybody to said, nope, not until you see it. But that's not a bad offer, so wait for offer night. So yeah, don't let people bully you.
This one agent for very aggressive.
Yeah.
They telling me that you cannot stop me from registering my offer.
Yes, you can.
Oh, no.
You can register it, but you don't have to accept or you just reject the offer. And by the
When they register,
yes.
that is an indication for.
No, so we have our broker bay set up by default that you as an agent have to verify it before it gets sent out to everybody. Check your listings though, because sometimes there's human error. And if that button is not selected, then yeah, it will automatically get sent out. But our default, if we're broker loading it or with our broker bay, will not go out to everybody unless you verify it. But if you have listings, double check that little, it's just one little button. It needs to be turned off to not automatically show them.
So we had a situation some time ago, just to keep everybody up to date here, where we tell the girls downstairs or CRS downstairs, do not push that button. Now, the offer's registered, don't tell everybody else offer's registered. Could be a crappy offer automatically, but we had somebody who turned it off because the first time around, and then they got a bunch of offers and then they never got what they wanted. So then they relisted the property again, but they forgot to tell the girls to take that off and they did it again. So don't pay attention to what's going on, right? So right now it's off, but you tell us to turn it on, we're gonna turn it on.
And it stays on.
If you don't tell us to turn it off, we're not gonna turn it off.
That's true.
I just immediately like this. Just make sure that that's the situation. And this I approve it.
Yeah, so double check this then.
Then I will allow it to.
Yep.
This one issue was really, the other one was reasonable.
And to answer your question directly though, you have to present all offers. The law says you must present all offers. That's so when the agent told you, I have a registered offer, you have to present it. No, did he say present it? What did he say?
Registered.
I say, he said he's going to register it so officially, because he was trying to stop other people from, immediately, so they don't come after him.
But I thought he told you that you have to do something with the registered offer.
He said you have to register my offer.
He said he said to you, you have to by law register my offer.
That's what he said.
But registered offer doesn't mean present offer. It means register the offer. It doesn't mean anything.
Register, then present. I said, I'm going to present it. I'm not going to register. I'm going to talk to my client. This is the offer. This is what we'd like to do. If they are willing to give you the offer, then we can register. But the second question is, if we go through that offer, how to register it?
Yeah, you have to know if you have an offer date and you're gonna remove that date earlier, you should want to let everybody know so you get more offers. But yes, you have to also.
Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't want.
If you're not gonna entertain it, but if you're gonna entertain it, you're gonna want to let everyone know for your seller's interests. Yeah.
It's my benefit because if I realize the offer is really good, I let other people know that in 2 hours there will be a presentation if you're interested. I actually give them advance notice. I give them
Of
advance.
course, yeah, you have to give, yeah, you want to give everyone a fair chance to also
Yeah, I tell
compete.
them that offer is going to be coming soon, in 3-4 hours if you're interested.
See, I'd still be careful about that, because what if that offer doesn't come through and now you've stirred everybody up? So be careful. It's strategy. It's whatever you think, but yeah.
I let them know that the offer is about to come. And I send them an email, did not.
Yeah, see, yeah. So I would wait until something's there and you like it and you want to entertain it, then you move on with the process. Yeah. Okay, good. We hit way over an hour. Have a good week. We will see you next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a second.